Oh, hey, it's Lee Barnes again, the youth ministry coach for the North Carolina Conference of the United Methodist Church. And today I want to tell you 5 things about sustainable youth ministry by Mark Devries. Thing 1, in the first part of the book, he makes a great emphasis on the normals of ministry and lists a lot of them off. I think one of the best ones that he talks about is the 10% model that he has. Mark says in his book that the average youth ministry is usually 10% of the worshiping population of the church. But also, there's a ceiling that comes with that that's 20% of that same worshiping population. I like this in that it gives boundaries to work with and things to manage your ministry with. Thing 2, Mark makes another distinction in his book about the difference between concrete and wallpaper. Now, concrete things are like having a set calendar of events that are coming up you can get to your families so they know what's happening. Things that are like wallpaper are, I wonder how we should redecorate the youth room this year. Another aspect of concrete is building solid relationships with youth, parents, and youth leaders, really investing time in this, as opposed to Googling what's the latest fad in youth ministry and how I can get that in my group. I think thing 3 is one of the most important chapters in the book. It's called Searching Right. And what it is a guideline for lead pastors, SPRCs, and search committees about how to find the youth worker that best fits their church and how to keep them. I think it's really good in that it gives a salary guideline of what you should pay for hours and years served in ministry. Also, it makes a good point of saying you have to define success for your youth worker so they will know what to go towards that. And the final point I think is really good is when to know when to hire part-time, and when to move part-time to full-time. Or in another aspect, when you have one full-time person, when it's time to move on to 2 full-time people. Thing 4, in sustainable youth ministry, Mark Devries makes a special case for this chapter called Aligning the Heart. In this chapter, he lays out practical principles for soul care for the youth worker, how the youth worker can stay close to Christ as they lead others close to Christ. Also, he gives practical examples of aligning a daily schedule so you can set proper boundaries in life so your life and your family's life and the church you serve don't get shortened. Thing 5, to me, this is worth the price of the book. In the very back, there's something called Appendix B. Whenever I've ever talked to youth workers that are in trouble with their jobs, I say, go to Appendix B of Sustainable Youth Ministry, do everything that's in it, and it'll at least get you 6 more months. What it is a practical guide of laying out what a youth ministry should look like. What it is of having a proper knowing who your students are, how many times you've contacted them, what is your schedule for your calendar, how have you outreached to your pastor and communicated your vision. It's a simple checklist of knowing what's going on. Now, if you follow our videos before, if you combine this list with the 50 points that came out of the Brad Fiskus Smaller Church Youth Ministry book, that will give you a proper guide to keep your job for a long time. Thanks a lot for seeing us today. Talk to you later.